The best part of this episode was the ending when Starfire and Dick Grayson, I was going to say Nightwing, but he's not Nightwing yet, fought Deathstroke in Titan's Tower to try to save Jason. But earlier, I thought most of the rest of this episode was a bit kind of slow. But, you know, you got to have... No show was perfect. I still think Titans is a good show. And they have to have, you know, these emotional, dramatic scenes, you know, where characters are talking to each other about their feelings and stuff to build up the drama and, you know, character development. If Titans was nonstop action for an hour, the repetitive nonstop action itself will get boring. So, you know, they have to build up their characters and their story arcs. And there was one part of that that I thought was really interesting and, like, sad in the dramatic parts earlier in the episode, but I'll get to that. But first, let's get back to that fight. I thought it was cool how when Starfire was fighting Deathstroke, she used her fire powers as a shield when he was shooting at her. We don't really see Starfire use her powers that way that often in the comics. I mean, there have been times, I think, where she's thrown up a heat shield or fire to deflect, to protect herself, but not that often. And to see her use it here so casually, I like that. That was creative. And it makes her a bit more, I think, effective in fights. Because, you know, if she can get shot, she can still get shot if she's not having her shield up. But it did make her look more effective, and I thought it was cool. And she was holding her own pretty well against Deathstrike when it came to hand-to-hand combat. In the comics, you know, Starfire is a good martial artist, but she's not as good as Deathstroke, and she was able to hold her own against Deathstroke pretty good in this scene. So I was pretty impressed. And, you know, Dick Grayson, of course, was very good with the hand-to-hand combat too, of course, because that's what Dick Grayson does. I liked when he had his staff. There was a part where Deathstroke was about to put a killing slash, with his sword to slice Starfire, and, you know, Nightwing put out his bow staff to, you know, deflect the sword and, you know, force it back up. I thought that was cool. Nightwing is an expert with, you know, bow staffs and his excrement sticks. I think that was a tease. You know, we've seen him use his bow staff in this episode. I wonder if we'll see him use it. Oh, actually, he's used it before in the show, hasn't he? Probably. But anyways, that's just what I thought of when he had the bow staff out. It made me think of Nightwing and his bow staff, which he can, you know, separate into excrement sticks. So I can't wait. Many other people can't either. We really want to see Nightwing in his outfit. And in the conclusion, you know, Dick Grayson reached for Jason as he was falling seemingly to his doom. But somebody's going to save Jason. Jason's not going to fall to his death. I think whoever saves him is going to be one of those Titans who, you know, heard the helicopter and were elsewhere to try to meet Deathstroke, like Wonder Girl or Hawk or Dove or someone. Or it'll be Beast Boy or Raven, who I think are at the tower. They were supposed to be at the tower. Or no, they weren't. They were somewhere to protect Rose. So, you know, it'll be one of those people who will save Jason. Or maybe it'll be Superboy. I think Superboy debuts next episode, so maybe he'll be the one to save Jason, but I don't think so. I think Superboy is going to escape from Project Cadmus and then eventually meet up with the Titans somewhere down the line. But Jason ain't gonna die. And speaking of Jason, I thought it was pretty smart of him in the beginning of this episode when he taunted Dr. Light to lure him close so he could, you know, kick Dr. Light. Well, choke him with his legs and his feet and then get himself free. I like the fact that they, you know, were showing Jason using his brain cells. Jason was very impulsive, you know, previously, but he was pretty snazzy in this episode mentally. I mean, he was using his strategy, his you know, mental skills, and I like that. And now, going back to the dramatic bits, one of the things that the scenes was, you know, when Rose and Beast Boy and Raven were eavesdropping, spying on the other Titans, the older Titans, having a discussion about what to do with Rose, and she overheard them, you know, debating, you know, giving her up to Deathstroke. That had to, I felt kind of bad for her. Like, that was so disappointing and crushing, I think, for her to hear. And it's almost like if you could eavesdrop on, like, your boss having a conversation talking about how he wants to fire you or something, or how you're a crappy employee. I mean, how demoralizing would that be? Or someone you're in a relationship with talking about, man, I cheated because this person was, like, you know, deficient or whatever. It's like, you know, if you heard that, you'd be like, man, I hate your guts. I'm through with you. I'm leaving or whatever. And which is exactly what Rose did. She bolted or tried to escape from Titan's Tower. I don't know. That's what I thought of when I saw that scene. I was trying to, like, make a metaphor as to what it would be like to hear. You know. And then, you know, Raven tries to apprehend her and winds up killing her almost if it wasn't for Rose's healing factor kicking in. And so, you know, Rose is going to have issues with the Titans, right? First, they were thinking about, they didn't go through with it, but they were thinking about selling her out. And then they practically killed her, right? So when she gets up, how is she going to feel about these people? You know, how are they going to make it up to her? Because it's just another going to be, that would ordinarily be another another entry in the laundry list of Titan sins, on top of whatever they did to Deathstroke's son Jericho, which I think we'll find out eventually. But I did feel for her in the sense that she's going to have a major grudge against these people when she wakes up. So we'll see how well she's able to get over grudges. We'll see what the writers have in store, because I think that stuff, a lot of people would find that unforgivable if that really happened to them. But it happened to Rose, and this is a TV show. So let's see if she's able to bounce. Let's see how she and the Titans will be able to repair that relationship. Starfire's return might help them figure out a way to smooth things over with Rose, because they seem to, the way this show was written, it seemed to set Starfire up as, like, you know, having a leader personality, and, you know, her talking to Dick and the other Titans, you know, she is like kind of a voice of reason, or to like help them straighten themselves out. So we'll see. Her presence, I think, is needed with this incarnation of the Titans in terms of infusing some different kind of energy personality-wise, and to help them kind of realize what mistakes they're making. That seems to be what they're doing with her character on the show, which we're seeing to begin being set up in this episode. So I think she'll be the one to help them figure out a way to make it up to Rose. Because, you know, they messed up. And as for next week's episode, we have teased the debut of Superboy. And I'm excited. I like the Superboy character. I like him in comics. And I like this old, barely known Superboy TV show that a lot of people don't really talk about. But I just like the character of Superboy. And so I'm very interested to see what they will do with him on Titans next week. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.